चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं। श्रीचैतन्येश्वरं परमानन्दमाधवं। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। नमस्कार। Doesn't like to look like you're very happy seeing me. Namaskar. No, not doing very well. Namaskar. Good. ನನಗೆ ಕನ್ನಡ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದರಿಂದ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. I practiced that this afternoon. Not that I know Kannada. It is my great privilege, pleasure and honor to be here this evening at Shri Kshetra Dharmasthala, and I want to express my deepest and sincerest gratitude to Shriman Dharmadhikariji of Dharmasthala, Dr. Shri Virendra Hegdeji. What an auspicious day for me to come here. It is his birthday today, and it is absolutely an auspicious meeting with him on this incredibly auspicious day. My respects to Srimati Sumitra Mahanjanji and all the dignitaries on the dais, and my sincere gratitude to all of you for being here this evening. Wherever I travel across the world, Indians are known for three very special characteristics. जहाँ भी मैं विश्व में भ्रमण करता हूँ, वहाँ भारतीयों की इन तीन चीजों से विशेष रूप से पहचान होती है. The first thing that Indians are known for across the world is Indians are very smart. Do you agree? Thank you. And especially when it comes to making money, Indians are smarter. Especially if they are Shettis from Mangalore, they are smartest. Extremely smart, right? There was a class, and in the class the teacher came, 7-year-old kids, and the teacher asked the boy called Varun, "Varun, what do you want to be when you grow up?" Varun said, "Well, I want to be a multi-billionaire, karodpati. I want 365 cars, one for each day of the year, 25 homes, 5 chartered planes, and 6 bank accounts." Teacher said, "Look, Varun, I didn't ask you to write an essay. I asked you what you want to be." In the same class, there was another 7-year-old girl whose name was Pooja Shetty. She was from Mangalore. So teacher asked Pooja, "Don't write an essay like Varun, okay? Tell in 2 words what you want to be." She said, "Varun's wife." I will do all that. Varun do all the earning of the money, and Pooja gets married and gets all the money. Shetties are extremely smart. But jokes apart, I know that across the world, Indians are known to be extremely sharp for their smartness. 13 of the doctors of the President of the United States of India, in the United States of America, are Indians. But that's not the only specialty, ladies and gentlemen. Number 1, Indians are smart. But number 2, Indians are also very much known to be sparing and saving. They save, they spare. The economy grows not by earning. The economy grows by saving. And the greatest savers of the country are the women at home. So when demonetization happened, they were in greatest anxiety because they had the greatest cash in their house and they didn't know how to reveal it to their husbands that I saved all this money. But you know how to know an Indian? An Indian person is known to be that person who after the shampoo bottle is over will put water in it till last bubble comes out. They will not throw it. They will not throw it. Who is an Indian? An Indian person is a person who after the toothpaste is over. No, I know you don't do that extreme. But after the toothpaste is over, you'll go from back to, how many of you have done that? Going from back to front, and one day it doesn't come out. How do you know an Indian? An Indian is a person who, when there is a hole in the t-shirt, He will keep it for the night. When it is not even usable in the night, he will keep it for holy colors. And when it is not even usable for holy, then he will use it as a pocha, as a mop at home. Known for being sparing and saving, ladies and gentlemen. We are known to be smart. We are known to be sparing. And in today's world, Indians are also known for a third S. The first S, smart. The second S, sparing. And the third S, Indians also now have a great spending capacity. Today people are making so much money and are spending so much money. A phone costs 1.5 lakh rupees. आपके दादा परदादा ने कभी 1.5 लाख का फोन खरीदा था? लेकिन आज तो पैसे खर्च करने की क्षमता सारे राष्ट्र में बढ़ गई है. People spend money like anything, even on weddings. You come to Mumbai. One of my friend's son, he got married. That friend spent 400 crore rupees on his wedding. सुना आपने? फिर से बताता हूँ. मेरे मित्र के बेटे की शादी में मेरे मित्र ने 400 करोड़ रुपए खर्चे किए और शादी 6 महीने चली बस. At least it should have lasted. At least it should have lasted. But nowadays the slogan is love at first sight and divorce at first bite. Oh my God, I must tell you. But believe me, the spending capacity of the country has increased like anything. One little boy came to his father and said, "How much did your marriage cost you, Papa?" Father said, "I'm still paying, beta." Now the fact of the matter is this. Across the world, people are, as Indians, are known for S, smart. The second S, sparing and saving. And the third S, spending. But is this your identity? Is this my identity? Is this the identity of this country? Smart and earning, great. Sparing and saving, great. Spending and helping the economy grow, great. But is this your identity? Is this my identity? Is this the identity of this country called India? क्या खर्चा करना, कमाना और बचाना, क्या ये भारत की पहचान है? Is this the speciality? Is this the USP of this country? What is the speciality of India? भारत की विशेषता क्या है? भारत की पहचान क्या है? आपकी पहचान क्या है? मेरी पहचान क्या है? हमारी पहचान क्या है? Every country has a USP, a speciality. Like if I ask you what is the speciality of the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, Sharjah, Bahrain, what is their speciality? Oil. Middle East की speciality है oil. If I ask you what is the speciality of Japan, the speciality of Japan is its technology. When if I ask you what is the speciality of Germany, the speciality of Germany is its punctuality. If I ask you what is the speciality of America, the speciality of America is her liberty. That's why they have a Statue of Liberty. हर एक देश की एक विशेषता है. Every country has a speciality. हमारी विशेषता क्या है? Engineering, mathematics, scientists, technology, cricket, Bollywood, politics. क्या है इस देश की विशेषता? What is the speciality of this nation? All of these are fantastic. Technology of India is fantastic. Science of India is fantastic. Engineers going and settling in Silicon Valley. Great smart engineers, fantastic. Bollywood stars, Tollywood, Kannada cinema, fantastic. Sports, fantastic. Politics and leadership, fantastic. Is that our speciality? हर राष्ट्र की पहचान है. जापान सोचो टेक्नोलॉजी याद आती है. मिडिल ईस्ट सोचो ऑयल याद आता है. जर्मनी की बात सोचो पंक्चुअलिटी याद आती है. भारत को सोच के क्या याद आता है जी? And therefore our tourism tagline is Incredible India. Incredible India. And what is so incredible about India? The most important aspect that distinguishes us as a nation and as citizens of this nation is the fourth S. which is our spiritual wisdom. Ladies and gentlemen, हमारी विशेषता, हमारा अध्यात्म, हमारी विशेषता, हमारी धार्मिकता, हमारा विशेषता, हमारे सिद्धांत, ये हमारी विशेषता है. We go to Dubai to look at Burj Khalifa. We go to America to go to Orlando to see Disneyland. We go to probably to Munich, Germany to go to Dachau to see the concentration camps of Hitler. सारे विश्व से लोग इस राष्ट्र में आते हैं क्या देखने? ताजमहल? जी बहुत बढ़िया है. क्या देखने? गोवा? जी बहुत बढ़िया है. क्या देखने? हिमालय? जी बहुत बढ़िया है. सारे विश्व से लोग इस राष्ट्र में आते हैं. People from across the globe come to this country with one thing in mind: to seek and learn the spiritual wisdom of this country. Ladies and gentlemen, if people come to Goa for tourism, go to Rishikesh and Himalayas, you'll find so many white, American, Western, European, African people who have come to seek and learn the spiritual wisdom of this country. ये हमारी विशेषता है. और अगर हम ये छोड़ देंगे, हमारी values, हमारी ethics, हमारी integrity, our culture, our character, if we leave all of these, I'm not too sure what is our identity. So this evening I thought I would share with all of you a couple of thoughts that the spiritual wisdom of this country teaches us. Our spiritual wisdom is beyond Hinduism. Our spiritual wisdom is beyond Jainism. Our spiritual wisdom is beyond Zoroastrianism. Our spiritual wisdom is beyond Christianity. Our spiritual wisdom is beyond Islam. आध्यात्मिकता religion नहीं होती. Spiritual wisdom is not religion. It crosses religious boundaries and it includes universal principles which can transform our lives and transform the lives of the world. And spiritual wisdom teaches us. Whether you drive a BMW or you drive a Maruti Suzuki, road remains the same. ऐसा नहीं होता कि BMW रोड अच्छा हो गया. जी नहीं. Whether you drive a BMW or a Maruti, the road will remain the same. Whether you speak on a Samsung phone or an iPhone, the person whom you talk to remains the same. It's not because you have an iPhone say, "Hello Modi ji, kaise hai?" You don't say that. Whether you have whether you have a fast track watch or you have an Omega or a Rado, the time you have is exactly the same. By buying an expensive Omega, you don't get 1 second extra, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you live in a 1-bedroom apartment or you live in a 10-bedroom bungalow, the people whom you live with remain the same. It's not that you say, "I've changed my house, let me change my spouse." You don't change your life partner because the home has changed. Our spiritual wisdom teaches us our experience is not defined by the car. It is defined by the quality of our journey. Our experience is not defined by the phone. Our experience is defined by the conversation we have on the phone. Our experience is not defined by the watch. Our experience is defined by how we use that time on the watch. Our experience is not defined by the 1 BHK or the 10-bedroom bungalow. Our experience is defined by the relationships that we have in that house, but we are so focused on the car that we forget the journey. We are so focused on the watch that we forget the time. We are so focused on the house that we forget the relationship. We are so focused on the phone that we forget the quality of our conversation. Materialism and modernism teaches us the art of having more. Spiritual wisdom teaches us the art of living more, and both are required. You should have and live, but if you don't live, what you have is never going to make you feel contented and happy, ladies and gentlemen. I have seen people crying in the fanciest car. I have seen people depressed in the biggest bungalows. I have seen people shouting angrily on their fanciest phones. And therefore, the contribution of this nation, India, is that spiritual wisdom which not only teaches you how to have more, but teaches you how to live more. Nobody is against having. But in the process of having, don't forget living. देवी और सज्जनों, हमको दोनों के बीच में समन्वय करना है. We have to balance the two. But in the modern world, having more, that we have forgotten. I have to live to experience what I have. And which is precisely why हमारे देश की सभ्यता, संस्कृति, धर्म, अध्यात्म किसी रिलीजन का नहीं, किसी सांप्रदायिकता की बात नहीं है, हमें जीना सिखाती है. मानव जीवन में हमको जीना सीखना चाहिए. जब जीना सीखेंगे तब जाकर जीवन के अनुभव सर्वोच्च होंगे, आनंददायी होंगे, संतोषदायी होंगे. अन्यथा बस हैविंग मोर, गाड़ी में बहुत बैठ के भी रोएंगे. आप में से कितने लोगों ने हिंदी पिक्चर देखी थी दीवार? हमने भी सीन दीवार. और दीवार में एक डायलॉग था अमिताभ बच्चन और शशि कपूर के बीच में. जानते हैं, अमिताभ बच्चन शशि कपूर को कहता है मेरे पास बंगला है, मेरे पास गाड़ी है, मेरे पास नौकर है, मेरे पास चाकर है, तेरे पास क्या है? और शशि कपूर कहता है मेरे पास माँ है. 2019 में डायलॉग बदल गया. बंबई शहर की बात है ना, बॉम्बे का डायलॉग है. अमिताभ बच्चन कहता है मेरे पास मर्सिडीज है, मेरे पास फरारी है, मेरे पास BMW है, मेरे पास बेंटली है, मेरे पास लैम्बोर्गिनी है, तेरे पास क्या है? शशि कपूर कहता है मेरे पास पार्किंग स्पेस है, क्योंकि बंबई में भी पार्किंग स्पेस नहीं मिलती हमको, बाकी सब मिल जाता है. I'll tell you, you can get anything in Bombay. So in Bombay, you're not known to be rich for the car you drive. You're known to be rich for you must have a good car and your own parking space. But I must tell you this one thing. Whether this or that, we must have parking space for the wisdom of life, these principles that will truly transform our lives. इसलिए मैं आपके साथ आज 4 बहुत महत्वपूर्ण चीजें शेयर करना चाहता हूँ. I want to share with you 4 very crucial and important principles that can transform the way you live. That's dharma. That's spirituality. That is adhyatma. अब में से कितने लोग हवाई जहाज से जाते हैं, ट्रैवल करते हैं? How many people fly on an airplane? Okay. And how many of you know that the takeoff of the plane is not in your control? You can do nothing about the takeoff of the journey. I was flying from Moscow to Kiev, Russia to Ukraine, and I was flying on an airline called Aeroflot. What an airline! Tough competition to Air India, believe me. Amazing airline. My God. I came up on board and the air hostess told me, "Welcome on board, sir, we guarantee takeoff." I said, "Landing, madam?" She said, "You're a man of God, right? Pray." Now believe me, takeoff is not in our hand. Is the landing in our hand? हवाई जहाज का उड़ान भरना अपने हाथ में नहीं होता, हवाई जहाज का नीचे उतरना अपने हाथ में नहीं होता, और जब हवाई जहाज हवा में होता है ना, तो टर्बुलेंस होती है, हिलता है हवाई जहाज. There's a lot of turbulence. The takeoff's not in our control, the landing's not in our control, and the turbulence is also not in our control. What is in our control? In our control is what we do between takeoff and landing, the choices we make. Some people go to sleep, that's the choice they make. Some people read a book, that's the choice they make. Some people eat, that's the choice they make. Some people drink, that's the choice they make. The choices we make on the plane between takeoff and landing are completely in our control. Life is like a plane journey. The takeoff of the journey is represented by the letter B or birth, and our birth is not in our control. You didn't choose your parents. Any of you chose your parents? One program, one man raised his hand. I said, "Bahar chal, baad mein milte hain. Something's wrong with you." He said he chose his parents. My God. Believe me, the takeoff's not in our hands. How the journey of your and my life started was not in our control at all. And how many will come from the parents, that is also not in our control. Like one couple gave birth to twins. Both were girls. So the lady asked the husband, "What shall we name them?" Husband said, "Tara and Sitara." Twins, right? Good. Second time, again she gave birth to twins. Boys now. So the lady asked, what will we name them now? Husband said, Peter and repeater. Third time she asked, again twins, boys, said, what will we name them now? 6 ho gaye, 6, 4 already, 2 more. Husband said, Max and Climax. Fourth time, again, twins, 8 now. The lady said, for heaven's sake, what will we name them now? Husband says, stop and full stop. Can't have any more. Now believe me, hand on my heart. The takeoff of the journey of our life, represented by this letter B or birth, is not in our control. And what about landing? Death? Unless you have someone depressed like the CCD chief, taking life in hands and doing emergency landing. So many students across the country are hanging themselves to death simply because they didn't get scored. Is this India? How much have we taken care of the mental health of our people in this country? We have so many programs for physical health. Arogyana. How much have we worked on the mental health of this country that our young students, simply because they did not get good grades, hang themselves to death? Ladies and gentlemen, that gentleman emergency landed his plane. Emergency landing is called suicide. But otherwise, in the natural course of our life, we must know that the plane has to land. ऐसा कभी हुआ है जो हवाई जहाज ऊपर हुआ उड़ता ही रहा? फ्यूल खत्म होगा तो नीचे उतरेगा. जातस्य हि ध्रुवं मृत्युर्ध्रुवं जन्ममृतस्य च. One who is born, death is certain. If the plane has taken off, landing is certain. What stupid idea is this that we'll keep hovering in the plane? No, it doesn't happen. But the landing is also not in our control. One 65-year-old lady, she had a 25-year-old nephew, and they would always stand next to each other whenever there was a wedding in the family. जब भी शादी होती थी, दोनों बगल-बगल. And the auntie, 65-year-old auntie would tell the 25-year-old nephew, next is your turn, huh? Next, and 25-year-old guys don't like to be reminded, shadi ka, next is your turn. 6 months later, there was a death in the family. Both went for the funeral. Both were standing right next to each other. This time, the 25-year-old nephew said, next is your turn, yeah? Now, regardless of whose turn is next, the turn must come, and it is not in our control. If you are born crying, it was not your fault. If you die crying, it is entirely your fault, guys. If you are born in a family which is not as fortunate, not your fault. If you die in such misfortune, it is entirely your fault, guys. And therefore, here we have takeoff, represented by B or birth, and landing, represented by D or death. और हर टेक ऑफ और लैंडिंग के बीच में होती है टर्बुलेंस, which makes the plane shake. हिला देती है हवाई जहाज को. पैसेंजर्स भी हिलने लगते हैं, ग्लास गिर जाता है, ट्रे टेबल हिलने लगता है. Between B and D in the journey of life, there's another letter called C. B और B के बीच में तो C होता है ना जी. And that C represents challenges, problems, issues. देवियों सज्जनों, अगर हवाई जहाज की यात्रा प्रारंभ की है तो ऐसा कभी नहीं होगा कि टर्बुलेंस नहीं आए. और अगर जीवन की यात्रा प्रारंभ की है तो ऐसा कभी नहीं होगा कि जीवन में समस्याएं, कठिनाइयां, प्रॉब्लम्स नहीं आए. चाहे वो इस्लाम हो, चाहे वो ईसाई धर्म हो, चाहे वो जिन धर्म हो, चाहे हिंदू धर्म हो, किसी भी श्रद्धा, किसी भी सांप्रदायिकता की हम बात करें, उनके सारे संतों, उनके सारे अनुयायियों को संघर्ष करना पड़ा है. जीवन की परिभाषा है संघर्ष. The name of the game of life is one word: struggle. How many of you have problems in your life? Okay, those of you who are not raising your hands, you expect me to believe you, right? My God. All of us have problems in our life. Okay, how many of you have health problems in your life? Okay, thank you. Health problems are still better if you are surrounded by good people. You may have the best of health, but if you have the wrong people around you, they create a bigger problem. How many of you agree? How many of you agree that people create more problem than headaches? One lady went to a doctor and the doctor said, "Madam, you came 2 months back, you said you have a headache, right? How is your headache now?" She said, "He is out of town." Because people are greater headaches than headaches. Then there is political problems, financial problems. How many of you have a loan? Thank you. How many of you don't have money? Thank you. How many of you have too much money? You don't have to raise your hand. It's okay. Oh my God, I'll tell you. This world is defined by one word. Turbulence. Problems. देवियों सज्जनों, हमारे हाथ में न तो हवाई जहाज का उड़ान भरना होता है और नहीं हमारे हाथ में हवाई जहाज का उतरना होता है। और रही बात टर्बुलेंस की, प्रॉब्लम्स की, नहीं होता जी हमारे हाथ में। For the last 29 years I suffer from a health problem. I have pain here in my temples for the last 24 hours a day, 365 days a year for the last 29 years. I don't know what a pain-free life means. I have no idea. मतलब वेदना के बिना जीवन क्या होता है भूल गया मैं 29 साल में. That's how much I suffer from this pain here. And I tried everything. I tried allopathy, neuropathy, naturopathy, homeopathy, even chiropathy. Everything I tried. I tried everything that was in my control. Hasn't worked. And then I take at least about 200 flights a year in my travels. A busy year can see 300 flights a year. And then sometimes, and it's not that I go there and I'm relaxing. I get there and I have to start. पहुंच गए शुरू. And I want to definitely thank Dr. Hegde for insisting that I come here. I'm meant to be in London today at an event, but I had to change my ticket and come back yesterday only on the loving request of Dr. Hegde. And some confusion that he already spoke, but I'm glad that confusion happened. So thank you. I landed yesterday morning from London. I had to speak at the British Parliament on the 20th. That's what I've gone to London for, to address the British Parliament. And then I got back yesterday morning, came here, and here we are, straight away. Here we are, straight away. In the middle of this excruciating pain. That's called turbulence. I have no control. I didn't ask for it, I didn't beg for it. I've lived a clean life and I don't know why the hell this is in my head. But it's there. And you have yours. मैं अपने दर्द की बात कर रहा हूँ, आपको अपने दर्द की बात है, चाहे वो शरीर में हो, चाहे किसी व्यक्ति में हो, चाहे आपके पैसों में हो, कहीं ना कहीं किसी न किसी प्रकार का संघर्ष, वेदना, पेन हम सबके जीवन में देवियों सज्जनों. What do you do to navigate through such turbulence and such problems? And that is the answer that our spiritual wisdom gives us. That is the answer that our Adhyatma gives us. Greater than the landing, greater than the takeoff, greater than the turbulence is your, mine, our power to choose how we feel. Choose how we feel. In that entire plane journey, there's only one thing that is in our hand, our choices. The pilot doesn't define your choices. You decide what to choose. Problems everybody has. You decide how to feel. Everybody goes through pain. Everybody goes through struggle. Everybody goes through problems. We have to decide to choose how we want to feel. Struggle and pain is automatic, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to do anything to get it. Happiness is a choice that we have to make. Happiness doesn't happen automatically. And each one of us has the power to choose. Each one of you sitting here at Shri Kshetra Dharmasthala come together for the Lakshadweep Utsav of the last day of Kartik have the power to choose. You can't choose your takeoff, you can't choose your landing, you can't choose your turbulence. You can choose how you feel. I am in pain, but I've chosen to smile. The smile is not going to come automatically. The only thing that will come automatically is tears because I'm in pain. I and you have to choose. How many of you have ever got angry? कितने लोगों को गुस्सा है? अच्छा बाकी लोग सब सच बोल रहे हैं जिन्होंने हाथ नहीं उठाया नहीं? Okay. And how many of you when you get angry you kind of speak in Sanskrit? Sorry about that. You know when you're angry, like one lady, she asked her, one man asked his wife, when you're really angry, what do you do? She said, I clean the toilet. I said, how does cleaning the toilet release your anger on me? She said, well, I clean it with your toothbrush. So next morning you have some special effects in your mouth. Oh my God. I'll tell you something. Anger is automatic. Peace is a choice you have to make. Shouting, yelling, losing temper is automatic. To shut up is a choice that you and me have to make. When we are angry, the mind starts working faster than the tongue. We don't even know what we are saying. पता भी नहीं लगता कि क्या बोल रहे हैं. And therefore, a very crucial aspect is we have to know when to speak and when to shut up. Anger is automatic. Peace is a choice. Hatred is automatic. Any damned idiot can hate. It takes a gentleman to love. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, hatred is automatic. Love is a choice. Problems are automatic. Happiness is a choice. Therefore, the first thing that I want to share with all of you this evening is choose to be happy. It's not going to happen automatically. The only thing that will happen automatically is problems. केवल स्वाभाविक दृष्टि से केवल एक ही चीज होगी, समस्या, झगड़े, गुस्सा, नफरत, यही होता है बस स्वाभाविक दृष्टि से. Love, peace, joy is a choice. Are you all with me? Make some louder noise. Are you all with me? You're not loud enough. Are you all with me, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, brilliant. Great. How many of you have gone to a hospital ever? Okay. How many of you have seen the patient in the ICU? Okay. And how many of you have felt nervous? मेरे साथ ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. Okay. How many of you felt nervous? मेरे wife के साथ ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. Many husbands are saying we prayed मेरे wife के साथ ऐसा होना चाहिए. I'm sorry. How many of you felt मेरे parents के साथ ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए? You know when you go to a hospital, the energy is negative. The energy is negative. You know why? Because every person there is worrying. सब लोग चिंता कर रहे हैं. So everybody who's worrying has put that energy in the health building. So you go in, you also get affected by that. Like one surgeon was operating a patient on the operating table, and instead of holding a scalpel in his hand, he was holding a garland. So patient said, "Sir, Doctor Sahab, what is the garland for?" The doctor said, "If the surgery is successful, it is for me. If it is a failure, it is for you." Now believe me, oh my God, every place, ladies and gentlemen, has an energy. And my second principle that I want to share with all of you that our spiritual wisdom teaches is choose your energy very carefully. When you go to a hospital, you're going to be affected by the energy of worry and anxiety. If you go to the stock market, you're going to be affected by the energy of money and investment, because that's a collective energy. If you go to the Lok Sabha, our previous speaker, Srimati Sumitra Mahajanji, will tell us the energy of the building at the parliament, right? Everywhere you go, you go to a temple or a mosque or a gallery or a church, there is an energy. हर जगह एक एनर्जी है, और एनर्जी ईंटों से नहीं बनती, एनर्जी लोगों से बनती है. Imagine a building, a hospital with no people. Nobody there, no patient there. Will you feel worried? No. People created that energy. Imagine a stock market without investors, nobody is there. Will you think about money? No, because people create that energy. देवियों सज्जनों, हम लोग सब एनर्जी से प्रभावित होते हैं क्योंकि हम रिसीविंग एंटेना भी है. And therefore, choose your company very, very carefully. It is said that you are the average. You are the average of the 5 people whom you spend the most time with. Choose those 5 people very carefully. Their energy is going to affect us. And there will be those who suck our energy or give negative energy to us. And then we are definitely going to only go down the wrong path. Which is why, second, choose your company very carefully. The third principle that I wanted to share with all of you is this. Sanskrit is an amazing language because in Sanskrit, even tough, strong words seem very soft. Like in Sanskrit, if you were to call someone a donkey, किसी को गधा बोलना है. अगर किसी को गधा बोलना है संस्कृत में, तो संस्कृत में गधे को कई बार वैशाख नंदन कहते हैं. तो अगली बार किसी को डोंकी या गधा बोलना है, बोलो हे वैशाख नंदन. And that person is going to think that you are composing a poem on him. Now don't try it on someone here because everybody has heard it. But when you walk out of here, someone who's out there say, hey Vaishakhanandan, you say, oh my God, thank you sir, nobody has ever called me by that name. Sanskrit is quite an amazing language, very euphemistic. But how do you say ice cream? How many people like ice cream? Oh wow. How do you say ice cream in Sanskrit? In Sanskrit, you would say Dugdha Sharkara Yukta Hima Ghanagol Gattu. If you were to say a mango ice cream, you would say Amra Dugdha Sharkara Yukta Hima Ghanagol Gattu. By the time you place the order, the ice cream will melt away. I guess such a long word because ice cream didn't exist then. But believe me, some people live by this ideology of the ice cream. Ice cream is good to eat, but bad philosophy. And what is the philosophy behind the ice cream? Enjoy your life before it melts. Ice cream पिघलने से पहले मजा कर लो, जीवन पिघलने से पहले अपनी मौज कर लो, जीवन तो पिघलने वाला है, मौज कर लो. That's what people say, isn't it? How many of you heard that song? हर घड़ी बदल रही है रूप जिंदगी, धूप है कहीं कहीं है छाव जिंदगी, हर पल यहाँ जी भर जियो, जो है समा कल हो ना हो, पिघलने से पहले ही मौज कर लो. This is what most people say. Life is like an ice cream, enjoy it before it melts. But that's so selfish. Only thinking of selfish enjoyment. Yet there are other people who are like candles. And the philosophy behind the candle is give light to others before it melts. An ice cream melts and a candle melts, but ice cream is selfish enjoyment and candle is selfless contribution, ladies and gentlemen. And we are celebrating Lakshadweepotsava, which is about deepas, candles, lamps, where we need to move from an ice cream to a candle, from selfishness to selflessness, from taking to giving. And I must say that we are celebrating the birthday of a very powerful candle, a very powerful lamp today, ladies and gentlemen. We are celebrating the birthday of such a lamp, Dr. Virendra Hegde ji, who has been such an incredible candle, bringing light to the lives of so many, not just taking, but giving. और देने के लिए होना भी तो चाहिए ना जी. You can't give unless you have. In this Lakshadweepotsava, when thousands of lamps will be lit up, all those lamps are okay. But I appeal to all of you. In this place called Shri Kshetra Dharmasthala, I appeal to all of you. Let not just the lamps be there. You be one of those lamps. In your own way, give back. You and I can't be Dr. Hegde. He is him. You and I cannot be Dr. Hegde. He's a fire. He's a volcano. Lamp will be small to say he's a volcano, erupting and spreading the lava of compassion all over the place. 42 lakh villagers, 4.2 million villagers taken care by him. I only have 4.2 on Facebook. I do nothing. He does the cares for all of these people. You know. And in such a volcanic eruption, हम थोड़ा अपना छोटा कर लेते हैं ना, हम उनके जैसा दे नहीं सकते. If you are a student, give your notes to another one when he needs, at least. If you have a neighbor, learn the art of giving, ladies and gentlemen. And that's my third principle. Contribute. First, choose to be happy. Second, company, right company. Third, contribute. Have that character, like Sumitra ji was saying about character development, not just career development. I remember in Britain when one Swami Vivekananda was walking on the streets, one very British gentleman. I just returned from London last night, and we talk like very British people. You know what I mean, right? So one very British person came up to Swami Vivekananda and said to Swami Vivekananda, who was wearing this Indian clothes, he said, "Why don't you dress up like a gentleman, sir?" And Swami Vivekananda replied, he said, "In your country, in Britain, a tailor makes a gentleman. In our country, India, character makes a gentleman." And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, we definitely need to focus on character and integrity, which will help us contribute and give back. And here is my last principle for this evening, after which we'll summarize the whole thing so you have a takeaway when you go back from here. My last principle is here. How many of you went to school? I'm sorry. How many of you are like very good at spellings? Okay. How many of you are terribly bad at spellings? How many of you didn't care? Okay, thank you. One teacher came to a class and said to a student, "Which state of India are you from?" He said, "I'm from Himachal Pradesh, madam." She said, "Can you tell me the spelling?" He said, "I'm from Goa, actually." Who is going to spell Himachal Pradesh? Oh my God. You can have people who are weak in spelling, you can have people weak in pronunciation in school. Like a teacher once asked the father, told the father, "Sir, we are trying to teach your son how to pronounce the word electricity for the last 2 weeks. And the guy keeps saying electric kitty." The father said, "What can the poor fellow do? That is his capacity, you know." Now believe me, whether you call it electricity or you call it electric kitty, when you're connected, the bulb lights up. उसको इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बोलिए, उसको इलेक्ट्रिक किटी बोलिए, जैसे ये बल्ब का कनेक्शन पावर स्टेशन से हो जाता है ना जी, it lights up. So whether you call it Allah, whether you call him Ram, whether you call him Krishna, whether you call him Jehovah, whether you call him Manjunatha, like Dr. Hegde was mentioning in his reference speech earlier, किसी भी नाम से पुकारिए जी, बिजली चाहे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी हो या इलेक्ट्रिसिटी हो, काम तो एक ही करती है, लाइट देना. And therefore, whether you call him this or that, when you make that connection, ladies and gentlemen, your heart lights up. And when your heart lights up, there is compassion. Every true path of dharma and spirituality is known by its value of humility, its value of compassion, and its value of love, tolerance towards others. And therefore my fourth principle is connect. Connect to a source higher than you. And with that connection indeed, life will be transformed. So to summarize all what we have said, I want help from all of you now. Indians are known for the first 3 S's. The first S, thank you. The second S, the third S, but that's not our speciality, which our fourth S is spiritual wisdom. And what does spiritual wisdom teach us? Having? No. Living? No. What does spiritual wisdom teach us? A balance of having and living. Because without living properly, what you have can never satisfy you. That balance is what our spiritual wisdom teaches us. And the 4 C's that I spoke to you about today are: number 1, choose to be happy. Turbulence will always be there. Anger is automatic. Peace is louder. Hatred is automatic. Love is suffering is automatic. Happiness is choice. Choose. You can't define take-off, landing and turbulence. You choose to be happy. My second C was company. Remember, we are affected by energy. If you are going to be surrounded by people with the wrong energy, we will be affected as well. Choose that company properly. My third C, contribute. We cannot be a large volcano, we can be a tiny candle, a tiny lamp in the Lakshadweep Utsava. By bringing light to someone's life, not being an ice cream only, but being a candle. And my 4th C is connect. Connect to your spiritual roots, whatever they are. Whatever you call it, electricity, electricity, doesn't matter, whatever you call it, connect to your spiritual roots, because that is our spirituality. And with these 4 C's, if we have you choose happiness, you have right company, you contribute with character, and you connect to your spiritual roots, that will give us the last C, the 5th C. Our life will be complete. I want to thank all of you very, very much for your kind attention. And I once again want to thank Dr. Hegde and the organizing team for having me over here. And I want to wish you all the very best in your journey of life and a great Dharma Sammelan for the next couple of days to come. Once again, thank you for your kind attention. Thank you.